As the day breaks, there's a gentle reminder that no matter what life throws at us, we are never alone. Every new dawn brings with it fresh opportunities and challenges. But in those moments, it's crucial to remember where our help truly comes from. Psalm 121 is more than just words. It's a timeless declaration that God is with us, watching over every step. Psalm 121 opens the door to a deeper understanding of God's protection, guidance, and unfailing care. It's not just about finding comfort. It's about finding the strength to face the unknown, knowing that we have an ever-present help. Exploration of the Psalm. Let's delve into this beautiful psalm together, verse by verse, and uncover the truths that it offers to us every single day. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. This verse marks the beginning of the psalm and calls us to lift our eyes away from our problems and toward the higher source of strength, God. The hills in this verse symbolize strength, safety, and divine presence. It's a reminder to stop and reflect on where we place our trust. Do we depend on our own strength, or do we turn to God, the creator of heaven and earth? In those moments, when uncertainty clouds our vision, it's important to ask, where does my help come from? As Psalm 46:1 reminds us, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in times of trouble. This verse begins with a powerful declaration, a statement of intent and faith. The psalmist makes the conscious decision to lift his eyes to the hills, looking beyond his immediate troubles and difficulties. But why the hills? Why look up at these towering, seemingly immovable structures? In biblical times, hills were often seen as symbols of strength, refuge, and divine presence. They were elevated places removed from the dangers of the valley. For the traveler in the ancient world, the hills could signify safety, a place where they could find shelter or respite. In the same way, the psalmist is calling us to lift our eyes spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to that higher place where true help can be found. Think about it for a moment. In our daily lives, we are often surrounded by distractions and challenges. The noise of the world, financial struggles, relationship issues, career pressures can feel overwhelming. We look at the problems right in front of us, and they seem like towering mountains, difficult or even impossible to climb. It's easy to become consumed by the weight of it all, letting the stress and pressure cloud our vision. But the psalmist offers us a different perspective. Instead of focusing solely on the obstacles before us, he invites us to shift our gaze upward towards something greater, toward God. The act of looking up is symbolic of faith. It's a decision to focus on the one who has the power to change our circumstances, the one who is above and beyond any of the challenges we face. When you lift your eyes, you're not just looking up at an empty sky. You are turning your attention to God, the creator of the universe, who holds everything in his hands. You are acknowledging that your strength, your peace, and your help do not come from the temporary or the fleeting things of this world, but from the eternal, unchanging God. In moments of doubt, when fear creeps in and uncertainty looms, this simple act of lifting your eyes can be a powerful reminder. It's a physical and spiritual posture of surrender. Instead of being overwhelmed by the circumstances around you, you choose to lift your gaze toward a higher reality, the reality of God's presence. In doing so, you remind yourself that God is not distant or detached from your struggles. He is right there with you, offering his help, his strength, and his guidance. The question that follows in this verse, "From whence comes my help?" is a profound one. It forces us to reflect on where we are placing our trust. When life gets hard, where do we turn for help? Do we rely on our own strength, on the people around us, or on the fleeting comforts of this world? Or do we look to God, the creator of heaven and earth? God, in his infinite wisdom, has designed life in such a way that our greatest source of strength comes not from our own abilities, but from him. This is the beauty of Psalm 121. It reminds us that we do not have to face the storms of life alone. God, the creator of all things, stands ready to provide the help we need. When we lift our eyes, we are reminded that he is watching over us, guiding us, and providing for us every step of the way. In times of hardship, when the road ahead seems uncertain, take a moment to look up. Lift your eyes to the hills, to the eternal help that is always available to you. Trust in God's faithfulness, knowing that he will never leave you nor forsake you. He is your refuge, your strength, and your ever-present help in times of trouble. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, remember the psalmist's words, "I will lift up my eyes to the hills." Let that be your declaration of faith. Let that be your reminder that your help comes from God, the maker of heaven and earth. And with him by your side, there is no mountain too high to climb, no valley too deep to cross. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. The answer to the question posed in the first verse is simple yet profound. The same God who created the vast universe, the stars, and the oceans is the one who promises to care for us. This truth is empowering. If the creator of everything is on our side, our problems are not too big for him. There is nothing in this life that is beyond his reach. When we trust in his power, we find strength to face anything that comes our way. Consider the Israelites who built the tabernacle in the wilderness, something that seemed impossible with limited resources. But they trusted in God's provision, and he made a way. Just like them, we are equipped with everything we need to face life's challenges, not because of our own abilities, but because God empowers us. In this verse, we are invited to experience the fullness of God's power and provision. It is a simple yet profound declaration. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. These words carry within them not just a statement of belief, but a call to shift our perspective to look beyond the limitations of our own strength and to embrace the boundless power of the Creator. Consider the weight of this statement. The psalmist isn't just saying, "My help comes from God," but is emphasizing that this help comes from the same God who created heaven and earth. Think about that for a moment. The God who flung the stars into place, who set the planets in orbit, who created the vastness of the oceans and the towering mountains, this same God is the one who offers his help to you. The very one who made everything that is seen and unseen stands ready to guide you through every trial, every challenge, and every moment of uncertainty. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, it can be easy to forget the magnitude of God's power. We get caught up in the struggles of our day-to-day lives, focusing on what we can see and touch what feels immediate and urgent. But the psalmist calls us to zoom out, to remember that our help doesn't come from anything that is temporary or finite. It doesn't come from our own efforts or from human solutions. It comes from the God who created everything, who holds the entire universe in the palm of his hand. This verse serves as a reminder of the greatness of God and his ability to care for us. The vastness of creation speaks to his power, and the intricacies of the world point to his wisdom. When you feel small or insignificant, take a moment to reflect on the fact that the Creator of the universe is intimately involved in your life. His power is not just reserved for the grand workings of the cosmos, but extends to the details of your life, the struggles you face, the dreams you chase, the fears you harbor. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by life's challenges. The problems we face often seem insurmountable, and the weight of responsibility can feel like too much to bear. Yet in the midst of it all, God, the Creator of everything, offers us His help. He doesn't just watch from afar. He is deeply invested in our well-being. His help is not passive. It is active, ongoing, and available to us at all times. When the psalmist declares, "My help comes from the Lord," it is a declaration of trust. It is saying, I trust that the one who created the universe has the power to handle my problems. I trust that the one who spoke the world into existence is more than capable of guiding me through this moment. It is a faith in the infinite power and wisdom of God, knowing that He is not only capable, but willing to help us in our time of need. God's help is not just about solving problems or fixing situations. It is about His presence, His peace, His wisdom, and His strength being made available to us. It is about knowing that no matter what we face, we are never alone. The Creator of heaven and earth is by our side, walking with us through every trial, comforting us in our pain, and providing the guidance we need to move forward. Think of the times in your life when you felt powerless or lost, unsure of where to turn. In those moments, did you turn to God for help? Did you recognize that your help comes from the one who has no limits? That your struggles are not too small for Him, and your dreams are not too great? In those times of doubt, remember this verse. Let it be a reminder that your help comes from the one who made the heavens and the earth. His power is limitless, His love unchanging, and His presence ever constant. When the world seems overwhelming, when you feel inadequate or helpless, lift your eyes to the Creator and trust that He will provide the help you need. This isn't just a passive acknowledgement. It's an active trust, a decision to rely not on our own strength, but on the boundless, infinite strength of the God who created everything. And when we trust in that power, we can face anything with confidence, knowing that we are in the hands of the Creator of heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. God's vigilance is constant. Unlike human guards who need rest, God is always awake, always watching over us. This verse paints a picture of stability and protection. Even when life feels unstable, when the ground beneath us shakes, God ensures that we remain steady. The story of Peter walking on water serves as a perfect example. As long as his eyes were on Jesus, he was able to do the impossible. But when he turned his focus to the storm, he began to sink. Likewise, God is our steady hand, always there to catch us when we falter. In this verse, we are introduced to a comforting and deeply reassuring promise. God's protection is steadfast and unwavering. The psalmist paints a vivid image of security and stability. He will not allow your foot to be moved. This phrase conveys the unshakable nature of God's care for us. It speaks of a God who not only watches over us, but actively keeps us grounded, ensuring that we are not easily swayed or knocked down by the challenges of life. Picture a person walking along a rocky, uneven path. With every step, there's a risk of stumbling, of losing balance, and falling into the unknown. The path is unpredictable, filled with sharp rocks and treacherous turns. Yet as they walk, a strong hand is there to steady them, to keep them from falling, to guide each step with precision. This is the image we are given in Psalm 121:3. Our foot will not slip, not because the path is easy or smooth, but because the one who is guarding us is faithful and vigilant, ensuring that we remain secure in every season. The promise is not that we will never face difficulties, nor that we will always have an easy path ahead. Rather, it is that God's protection will keep us steady even in the midst of the storm. Life is full of uncertainties, unexpected twists, painful losses, moments of fear and doubt. Yet this verse assures us that we will not be moved by these trials. God, who is our keeper, will never let us fall beyond His reach. The image of a foot that will not slip is a promise that we can trust God to hold us firm in every season, to never let us be swept away by the challenges we face. Even more profound is the next part of the verse, "He who keeps you will not slumber." In a world that never stops, where rest can feel elusive, this truth is incredibly comforting. While we as human beings need sleep, rest, and recovery, God does not. He is always alert, always watching, always ready to protect. There is never a moment when He takes His eyes off us. There is never a time when He needs to rest or recharge. The same God who watches over the entire universe is personally guarding you, guiding you, and keeping you safe every moment of every day. This is a God whose vigilance never fades, whose care never lapses. The implications of this promise are immense. It means that no matter what we face, God is present, attentive, and fully aware. When we lie down to sleep, we can rest in the knowledge that God is still watching over us, ensuring our safety and well-being. When we are awake and facing challenges, we can be certain that He is not distracted or unavailable. He is right there guiding our steps, steadying our hearts, and providing the strength we need to face whatever comes our way. Think about the times in your life when you felt alone or abandoned, when the weight of the world seemed too much to bear. In those moments, this verse is a reminder God has never slumbered. He has never taken His eyes off you. When it feels like the world is crashing down, He is holding you steady, making sure that your foot doesn't slip. He is the one who keeps you grounded even when everything around you feels unstable. The beauty of this verse lies in its assurance that God is always there, always ready to catch us if we fall, always willing to steady us when we're on the verge of stumbling. He is not a distant observer, but an active, engaged protector. His vigilance is unceasing, and His care for us is unbreakable. This should fill our hearts with peace, knowing that we have a God who never sleeps, a God who is always looking out for us. When we face moments of uncertainty, fear, or doubt, we can take comfort in knowing that God is right there beside us, never slumbering, never absent. His protection is constant, His care unyielding. When we place our trust in Him, we are safe, we are steady, and we are secure. So the next time you feel like the ground beneath you is shifting, remember this promise: He will not allow your foot to be moved. No matter what you face, God is watching over you. He is your keeper, your protector, and He will not slumber. With Him, you will stand firm. With Him, your foot will not slip. Behold, He who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Here the scope of God's protection expands beyond individuals to encompass nations. Just as God never sleeps, His care is not limited to personal needs. It extends to families, communities, and even entire nations. The Israelites, as they journeyed out of Egypt, experienced this kind of protection when God parted the Red Sea for them. He was with them every step of the way, just as He is with us in every season of life. This verse delivers a powerful reassurance. God is always alert, always vigilant, and always present. When we face trials, when the world around us seems to be falling apart, we can hold fast to the truth that the One who watches over us will never take a break. He does not slumber. He does not sleep. His care for us is constant and unyielding. This verse serves as a reminder that God's attention to our lives is not temporary, nor does it wane with time. He watches over us relentlessly, continuously, with an unwavering love and dedication that never fades. In the context of the psalm, this verse speaks directly to the security and trustworthiness of God. The psalmist draws our attention to Israel, a people whom God has chosen to be His own, a people to whom He has given promises and covenants. God's relationship with Israel was not only personal, but protective. He has watched over them, cared for them, and kept them safe through centuries of trials, oppression, and turmoil. And if God, in His infinite power, has not once slumbered in His vigilance over a nation, His chosen people, how much more will He keep watch over you, His beloved child? Behold, this word commands attention. It invites us to pause and reflect. It's a call to see God's power and commitment clearly. Behold means that this is something to be seen and understood, something worth focusing on. We are being reminded to fix our eyes on the reality that God never sleeps, that His presence is always with us, guarding us, protecting us, and ensuring our safety in every moment of our lives. In times of distress, we may feel like we are abandoned, like we are walking alone. But this verse assures us that the very One who cares for Israel is watching over us with the same love and vigilance. Think about the nature of sleep. It is something we all need. It's when our bodies and minds rest recharging for the challenges of the next day. But imagine the contrast: God, who is infinitely powerful, never needing rest. He is not like us. While we need sleep to rejuvenate, He remains ever active. His care for us doesn't ebb or flow with the tides of exhaustion. His watchfulness is not interrupted by fatigue. How often do we find ourselves exhausted emotionally or physically drained, longing for rest, even spiritually? In those times, it's easy to think that God may be distant, that He may be sleeping while we suffer. But this verse reminds us that God does not slumber. He does not take a break from watching over us, and He is never unaware of our pain, our struggles, or our cries. God's watchfulness is constant and unceasing presence that is always there, even when we can't sense it. This truth is not just theoretical or abstract. It's deeply personal. It means that when you are walking through the storms of life, whether those storms are financial struggles, health crises, family issues, or personal doubts, you are never truly alone. God, the creator of the universe, is right there watching over you with an ever-watchful eye, never turning away, never resting. Imagine the comfort and peace that comes from knowing that the One who holds the universe in His hands is also holding you. There is no moment too small, no difficulty too insignificant that escapes His notice. God is fully aware of everything you face, and His vigilance over you is constant. There is power in resting in the knowledge that we have a God who is always present, who never sleeps, who is always active on our behalf. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that God is there, unwavering, never slumbering. He is your protector, your keeper, and He will not let you go. The next time you feel like you're walking through the darkness alone, pause and behold this promise. God neither slumbers nor sleeps. He is your constant companion, always alert, always aware, and always present. With Him, you are never forgotten, never abandoned, never out of His sight. Let this truth fill your heart with peace. Let it silence the voices of doubt and fear that whisper, "You are alone." Instead, hear the voice of God saying, "I am always with you. I am your keeper. I will never slumber nor sleep. I am watching over you now and forever." The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. God isn't just watching over us from a distance. He is our shade, our constant source of protection. The metaphor of shade in this verse is incredibly powerful, especially in climates where the sun is harsh. In life, we face challenges that can feel like the scorching heat of the sun, but God is our relief, our refuge in times of hardship. With God by our side, we are empowered to face any challenge with confidence, just like David, who faced Goliath not in his own strength, but in the power of God. We too can confront any giants in our lives. This verse is filled with deep comfort and a profound assurance of God's constant care and protection. It speaks of God not only as our keeper, our guardian, our protector, but also as our shade at our right hand. The imagery here is powerful and speaks directly to our need for refuge in a world that often feels overwhelming. To understand the depth of this promise, let's first look at the word keeper. In biblical times, a keeper was more than just someone who watched over things. They were entrusted with the care of something valuable, something precious. A keeper would protect, guard, and preserve whatever was in their charge. The Lord, as our keeper, is not a passive observer of our lives. He actively watches over us, ensures our safety, and guards our hearts and minds from the dangers that come our way. God is our steadfast protector, never leaving us, never forsaking us, but always by our side, ready to shield us from harm. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, the knowledge that we have a keeper in God is incredibly comforting. We don't have to navigate life alone. We don't have to worry about being overwhelmed by the challenges or burdens we face because the Lord is keeping watch over us. He is our refuge, our strong tower, the one who holds us steady when the world around us is in turmoil. When we feel vulnerable, when we feel weak, we can take comfort in knowing that we are under the watchful eye of the Creator of the universe. He keeps us safe and secure no matter what. But the verse goes even further. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The metaphor of shade carries with it rich meaning, especially when we think of the intense heat of the sun. In the ancient world, shade was not only a place of rest, but a vital necessity. In the heat of the desert, shade could mean the difference between life and death. It was a refuge, a place of relief, offering protection from the burning sun. When the psalmist declares that the Lord is our shade, he is saying that God is our refuge from the harshness of life. He is the one who provides us with relief and comfort in times of distress. The right hand, too, is significant. In biblical times, the right hand symbolized strength, power, and authority. To be at the right hand of someone was to be in a position of favor, to be in close relationship with that person. So when the psalmist says that the Lord is our shade at our right hand, it speaks to the intimate relationship we have with God. He is not distant or far off. He is right there beside us, offering His protection, His comfort, and His strength as close to us as our own right hand. His presence is not just abstract or theoretical, it is near tangible and personal. Imagine the comfort that comes with knowing that in the midst of the storms of life, the Lord is standing beside you, offering you shade, rest, and protection. When the sun of stress, anxiety, or hardship beats down upon you, God's presence is there shielding you, giving you a place of peace and offering you relief. His shade is a shelter from the intensity of life's challenges. When you are weary, He is your rest. When you are overwhelmed, He is your strength. There is also a sense of empowerment in this verse. The right hand is often associated with strength and authority, and the fact that God is at our right hand means that He is not only protecting us, but also empowering us. He is beside us, offering His strength to help us face the challenges of life with confidence. We are not weak or helpless in His presence. We are strengthened by His power and upheld by His might. This verse calls us to reflect on the incredible privilege of having God as our keeper and our shade. We are never alone. We are never without protection. We have a God who is actively watching over us, shielding us from harm, and empowering us to walk through life with confidence. His presence is with us every step of the way, close, intimate, and powerful. The next time you feel the heat of life's struggles, the next time you are weary from the journey, remember this promise. The Lord is your keeper, your protector, and He is your shade at your right hand. Let His presence bring you peace and strength. Let it comfort you, knowing that the Creator of the universe is standing beside you, offering His protection, His strength, and His rest. Real life story. Let me share with you a real life story. I once heard of a woman who had faced severe financial hardship. She was a single mother, working 2 jobs trying to make ends meet. She had moments where she felt like everything was falling apart, when the weight of her burdens seemed too much to carry. But she held on to Psalm 121, remembering that her help came from the Lord. And in those times of uncertainty, God provided for her in miraculous ways. Not only did her financial situation turn around, but she also found a renewed sense of peace and strength. God had been her protector and provider every step of the way. Conclusion and takeaway. As we come to the final verses of Psalm 121, we are reminded that God's protection is eternal. His care is not just for today, but forever. No matter what comes our way, we can trust in His ability to preserve us and guide us through every season of life. So how can we apply this truth today? It starts with faith. It starts with believing that God is who He says He is, and that He will do what He has promised. In every circumstance, we can find peace, knowing that we are never alone, that God is our keeper, our shade, and our protector. As we begin today, let us rest in His presence, trusting in His protection, and declaring that our help comes from the Lord, the Maker of heaven and earth. Prayer. Heavenly Father, thank You for the assurance that we are never alone. As we face the challenges of today, we declare that our help comes from You. You are our keeper, our shade, and our protector. We trust in Your ability to guide us, to protect us, and to preserve us. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.